Hello there, and hope you guys are doing absolutely fine. So, right now we're gonna create a Godzilla. Hope you guys seen the part 1 video of this, where we created the legs part. So, now we're gonna proceed with the further process. Please do see the part 1 if you haven't. And yes, so let's begin. So, I'm gonna do the tail part first. So, what I'm done doing over here is I've added some clay to the tail completely, and now I'm giving it a shape. It's not something which is very difficult. I'll also let you know how to do the spikes as well. Also, I hope you know that to smoothen this clay you have to use water. So I've just taken a small amount of clay, tiny amount of clay, and I'm doing this process. Just observe and see, you will get an idea. You have to press and you have to merge it so that you can get the spikes in a proper shape. I'll only show how to create one spike so that you can get an idea, because if I go to show all spikes, then this video will be like 1-2 hours long, which will be boring. So keep observing the images and check where the spikes are, and then you can create it like this. You can also pinch the clay and take some clay portion above little bit, and then you can get this kind of shape. So after adding all the spikes, now what you do to merge it more properly, you can use a silicone tool like this. You can also use a pin tool as well, but silicone tools are better. If you're creating a complex figure like Godzilla like this, then you need these kind of tools first of all. So I suggest to create the hand separately. Take some wire first, bend it in an L shape, and then create the hands. The hands is something which is also very easy, but always suggest, which I always do at all my other artworks as well. What I do is I create the hands later, or I create the hands separately, and then afterwards I'll attach it to the body. Now I won't be showing you to do the main middle body part, because that is also an easy thing. So right now let's do the nails over here. The same thing which we did with the spikes over here, but what you have to do is after this whole thing is dried up, you have to add nails like this, and then you can later give it a shape using your hands, or you can also use spatula as well. And just in case if the nails don't stick like this, then you can use glue as well to stick them properly so that they don't fall off later. So I didn't show the middle body portion because it will take too long, and there is nothing much to say about it, because you have to create the middle body and then do some scale work on it. And to create this, if you're creating an open mouth shape, you have to create this type of skeleton first, and then just add some clay for the eyes. You can see the character tutorial before, you'll get an idea for this. Creating a closed mouth shape is more easier compared to open mouth shape, but I am showing you open mouth shape. Then later on, add clay on the eyes. Once after the whole thing is dry, the previous portion is dry, I have added this. I have added the teeth, and I have added the eyelids like this. If you add eyelids later, once the eyeballs are completely dry, it will be easier for you to work on. You can get a proper shape like this. So what I'm doing is adding teeth over here. These are very tiny portions, and you have to work on a very tiny level for this. So I would suggest, if you're creating it for the first time, I would suggest you to create a closed mouth expression for Godzilla. And once after this is completely dry, now we will move on to the third phase of the face. Now for the third phase, you can see this is completely dry over here. Now I will add clay on this later on, so that it will be easy for me to make. Now I'll just show you how to add clay, how I'm gonna do this, because to you will understand what's the issue over here. But yes, it is not something which is very difficult process. Again, I have suggested that make a closed mouth face first. What the issue over here is that I have to create face like this, so it's very difficult for me to keep a camera in front of me and then skype. So like this, only I can give shape to the face over here, because it becomes difficult. I have to keep it in front of my mouth and I have to observe it properly. So I have given this somewhat rough shape to his face, and I keep on I keep on smoothing this up and everything, and I also later on add scales to him as well. Make sure you do this in a hurry or in a bit fast manner, because you have to add scales on it later on. So if you just create the shape, and if 1.5 hours passes out, and you need to create the shape, and it takes around 1.5 hours only for you to create the shape, the issue will be that it will go completely waste. Your efforts will go completely waste, because you have to make the scales, right? Same thing which I have done with the neck right now. I've added clay over here, merged it. Merging I have shown in many videos, and I've shown in previous videos of Godzilla as well. And now I'll again create the scales over here again. There's nothing much, once you get the design, all you have to do is just keep on adding the clay, and then sculpt scales on it. Hence, I'm just showing you the technique of how to do this thing. Because if I go and keep again, I'm saying this, I keep on saying this again, isn't it? If I start showing the whole complete, it's not, first of all, it's not possible for me to show the full process over here, because it takes a lot of time. And but my main aim is only to show the technique, so that if you're creating it, you can surely create it, because it's not that difficult. Only issue is that you have to create it a bit faster and create it parts by parts. So it will take time, but we'll surely do an amazing job by creating it. Now for his bigger spikes, I'm calling it spikes, I don't know what to call it, but for his bigger spikes, I suggest you to add wires like this, because there are chances that it might break if we pushed, or if we apply little force to it. And always, whenever you're using oil, always try to cover them up with masking tape, so that clay will stick to it properly. So now what I'm going to do right now is I mix some more clay over here, and now I am adding it properly, and I'll try to give it a more proper shape over here. I don't know how to explain the shape, but yeah, you can see over here. You try to keep seeing the images of Godzilla, how you want them, and later on after sculpting. Also, I suggest one thing, that add a layer of sponge on the clay when the clay is wet. Try to press the clay with a little bit of sponge. You might have the sponge with you, so that you might also get a bit rough texture. You'll like it. And there are also side spikes over here. I saw the images, and I had almost forgot that he had side spikes on both the sides of his back. So I'm gonna add those as well. It is not something which is very difficult. Same thing, add some clay and give it a shape, and then merge it from bottom. And now once the spikes are ready, our Godzilla is completely done. The only thing left is the paint work, and we'll show that in the next video, part 3, which will be the last video. Still, this video got much longer than I expected it to be, but yes, you can see over here our main Godzilla is ready. There is no more sculpt work for him right now. So try this out for sure. If you have any doubts, let me know in the comment section below, and till then, see you next time with the same creation.